Field pop to on Ridge Wine.
Hey guys, what's going on? Lee Taft here. Welcome to Speed Tips from my garage in the classroom. Today's 162. Let's go ahead and talk about a question that I have. This is the list of questions that you guys sent, and one of them is, how important is resistance training for speed development? Okay, so if we're talking speed development as a general term, then that means we're talking about starting speed, we're talking about acceleration or drive phase, and then we could be talking about max velocity. Okay, so now, if we're talking about acceleration, resistance is very, very important because it teaches the athletes to push harder, especially athletes that when they take off, they tend to fold and they don't actually get extension, they tend to bend over versus being able to push through an angle and gradually get themselves to rise out of that angle. So resistance is great, okay? And I'm a big fan of some kind of resistance where the athlete can actually run with their arms and legs in action versus just pushing a sled. I love sled training, don't get me wrong, and I think it's an important part of it. But if we can stay as close as possible to the skill, that's very important, okay? Now, as we get, so I start my acceleration, and then I start standing up, and I start getting taller. If I go heavy resistance on max velocity sprinting, I'm risking changing several things. My ground contact time gets too long. That's not a good thing. Okay, I want to be able to hit, plant, and go. My foot plant angle changes. Okay, with the resistance, I might be able to get away with planting straight under my hips or slightly behind, which doesn't happen in max velocity. I actually get a vertical shin perpendicular to the ground, slightly in front of my mass. That's what allows me to hit while my mass is moving over it and project up. Okay, so if I plant right under me, I tend to roll and bend too fast. Okay, so we have to be careful. If you're going to do that, I would almost rather you just wear a little bit of a weighted vest or something that doesn't bounce too much, something that gives you just a little bit of, you don't want too much because that will change ground contact time as well. But definitely use resistance in the early phases because that's going to allow you to drive and push longer. And then you also have to be able to get away from it to be able to get back to the real world feelings and sensation of what accelerating is. Okay, so give those a shot. Let me know what you think, and please ask questions, guys. Okay, hey, we'll see you again for another Speed Tips from my garage.